Thank you. I want to bring everybody back to when we did the sidewalk survey. Remember, that was GIS too, because we kind of knew that GIS is the future. That's how we're able to pinpoint things on maps, and then actually even chart out budgets and stuff like that to be able to put down, hey, we need to fix this in 5 years. Here's where it's located, how big it is. I think that one was pretty expensive too, to do that citywide. But this is the future, and this is how those can put in there. One reason too why we have such a huge pot is that a lot of other cities where I think Cupertino might have done the GIS, but a lot of them have used this to hire staff, right? To like safe routes to school coordinators and active transportation coordinators and stuff like that. And we've never really wanted to go down that route. We've sort of wanted to use it for something else. So this would be the opportunity for staff to not only be able to update this, because we don't have anybody on staff that can update a new bike trail by AI, but we do with GIS. And at the same time too, since we're not going to go down the route of hiring somebody, within staff, this will give the opportunity for the general public to be able to this will sort of like be their interface to us. And I do know that the Arts and Culture Commission, along with the Parks and Rec Commission, have been partnering up as well too. And one of the things that they want to do is place a mapping layer, because remember, these are all layers. They want to put a layer for like all the public art that's out there that we've approved to put in there. Stuff like doggy bag holders, access to water, like those type of things. And this could even really help those events that are coming down, or events in the city like La Ofrenda Festival, Poppy Jasper Festival, where the city could, if we're partnering with them, they could literally just enter in where all these events are, or let's say they're daily or whatever. And that's something that's pretty easy just to input. So, I mean, I look at it as like a tourism, platform and stuff like that everybody can use as well. Thank you.
Councilmember Marks.
Yes, thank you for your report, Bryce, but I have some questions about this and some concerns. According to this report, you're going to be mapping out what is on trails. I'm going to use Uvis Levy as an example. So if I was brand new to Gilroy, I would click on this link. I'd find out where the watering spots are, where the benches are, where information boards are. If we were a big metropolis, I could see where this would be real handy, because new people would be coming to Gilroy not knowing. But Gilroy and Morgan Hill are small. And if you want to know where you can go hiking, you can ask. If you want to know where you want to go biking, you can ask. You don't need to have a $408,000 project to map all this out to click on the link. And when I read through this, I noticed it's for pedestrian and bicycle activities. And I was thinking how nice it would be to take our $266,000 and spend it on the taxpayer with maybe bike events. And I thought Councilmember Hilton would be really excited about these and would be suggesting ideas on how to get pedestrians biking and people out and about. But to spend it on something that we have no guarantee people are going to use, or very few are going to use, it just seems like a real waste of money when we can go into the schools and put programs together to get kids involved in biking, and we could plan carnivals, we can plan bike events out at Christmas Hill Park. I just feel like Parks and Rec Commission could really come up with some great ideas on how we can spend this money, and then we wouldn't have to use the extra money that VTA is going to reimburse us, but we could use it for other things in later years.
You need staff to do that.
Pardon me?
You need staff to do that.
And we do. We have staff.
We don't have staff
commission.
to do that.
I don't believe that. We have a commission that also can help. It's where there's a will, there's always a way.
And they recommended that.
Well,
Okay, let's not interrupt each other, please. Thank you. Right now, Carol Marks is speaking.
All right, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else from the council wish to speak?
I would just
Do you want-
say, yeah, I do.
Okay. Did you have something to say, to add before I go to Councilmember Armendariz?
I just would like to clarify that this is a system that I've used in past employment for a number of jurisdictions. It's far superior, and in developing a layer not just for the bike and ped facilities and mapping that would be interactive for the public to access online, but also in developing a layer that we could utilize when designing. It will we could layer the underground utilities, for example, the above ground utilities such as street lights. It speed up the process and makes it cheaper to design. For example, we will be applying for an ATP grant, so it's due on June 17th. Having such mapping could even save us time and effort and cost in preparing the grant application.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I have another question.
Okay,
I'm a
let-
hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
it's okay. I've got Councilmember Armendariz, and then I'll go back to Councilmember Marks. Okay?
Thank you. I think, having been born and raised here, I know Gilroy always feels like a small community, but geographically, right, in terms of space, we are one of the larger communities in terms of acreage. And I think that our community members would benefit, in fact, from this being accessible technologically, right, or digitally. There's trails in Gilroy that I'm not familiar with, at all in terms of where they start, where they end, what kind of amenities are there available. I think as if my kids were small, I'd want to know where the benches were, where the shady spots were, if there was restrooms, things like that. And then also having coordinated the Taman Festival, having that access to this stuff digitally is really helpful, right? Because you have to lay out for permits, you have to lay out routes for traffic, where the buses are going to be rerouted to, all the kind of detailed stuff, and to have it digitally, it makes it just incredibly efficient. And again, Gilroy might feel like small town still to many of us because we're, this is where our roots are. But to somebody coming into Gilroy, it's a huge expanse of land, and I think this is a good investment. And like our new staff person just mentioned, it probably will come out more cost efficient in the end.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Marks.
Bryce, I just have one more question, but this is specifically for bike and hiking trails, correct?
Correct. This is bicycle
So this is
pedestrian.
not festivals, this is not underground sewer lines, it's just, this contract is just for bike and hiking trails.
It's bike and hiking trails, but it's also identifying, as mentioned, those amenities. So benches, fix-it stations for bicycles.
On the trails.
On the trails, and then it can also be identified to show locations for community events that might be, set up and established, and
In that
identify
area.
those locations.
In that area, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I see at least one member of the public who would like to speak, so I'd like to open public comment. Is it just one?
Just one.
Okay, Ron Kirkish, would you go ahead and take the mic?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, community. I agree with Councilwoman Marks. This is a lot of money for something that how many people are going to utilize? We have much more serious needs in this community. We need more police officers. We need more fire officers. So it's my opinion that we should not be wasting our money on this project. Thank you.
Okay, closing public comment and wanting to remind the council that this money can only be used for bike and ped educational purposes. It can't be for anything else. So, okay. All right. Are there any other council members wishing to speak? Because all I see on my board are the same ones that have already
Yeah,
spoken.
I can't put my name in there either.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to speak again?
Yes, please,
Okay,
after Tilburg.
Okay, Councilmember Hilton.
Go ahead.
Okay. So on top of that, yeah, this is strictly for a certain use. And it's a use it or lose it. If we don't use it, we will lose it. That's important.
Yes, but we can use it. For other things.
Thank you. If we choose to hire like a staffer or a coordinator with it, we're going to burn through it really fast. Throwing events and parties to try to encourage biking is great. But we don't have a motivated staff to do that monthly, even weekly, and you can't burn through that kind of money on stuff like that either. Another thing that for public works is for their maintenance. So this is not just for trails that are out there; it's for all the existing bike lanes that are out there. And I can tell you, as a past member of the Gilroy Bike and Ped Commission, that when the city engineer was trying to update a bike map, we had one from like 2016, there was nobody keeping track of where all the future bike lanes were happening and where they were going. I actually rode the entire system myself and charted it out on a map in engineering to help them out, to at least to start. So we still don't have a really good way to keep track of that. And if there's certain problems that pop up on any of these, bike lanes or whatever out there, this is a great way for staff, for Public Works to be able to highlight it, take a picture of it, have the exact cost estimate for it, put in a budget request for it. I mean, all that's for GIS. The last thing I want to mention is that we are a tourist destination, right? Visit Gilroy, we have a member of the Visit Gilroy board up here, Tom Klein, and we're a recreation destination. We do active tourism through our hotels. Many more hotels are coming through here, so to think that we're just all residential houses is not true. And I know Frank's not here from Visit Gilroy, but we hear from him at least twice a year of all the tourism activity that we're trying to do, right? Because that creates TOT, brings money back in, but we can do stuff, to keep that going. So thank you.
Councilmember Tovar?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. No, my question's been answered. So.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Councilmember Klein, do you have anything to say?
Well, just Jimmy, as far as if we had a staff-driven, cost-wise, how do you quantify that, or could you even put a cost on that if we try to do it ourselves?
Well,
this is certainly a more cost-effective manner. We pay salaries, benefits, retirement, and all those things, and we can hire a consultant that does the work for us. We don't manage it. We don't have turnover. We don't have trouble recruiting for a position that's only funded for a couple of years. So it's a significant challenge for us. That's why we did recommend that we do go with a consultant.
Okay. Okay. Would someone like to make a motion?
I would like to motion that we approve the contract of $408,000 to Blue Rafters for the bicycle and pedestrian GIS system.
Second. Hilton.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the contract. Can we include in that, may I include both together or no?
yes, you may.
Okay. Would you both be willing to include in that adopting a resolution amending the fiscal year 24 adopted budget to
Yes.
increase appropriations in the Measure B Fund, Fund 212, by $408,134?
I'd accept.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's done and seconded. So that is a roll call or digital? Roll call vote.
Councilmember Bracco?
No.
Councilmember Armendariz?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks?
No.
Councilmember Hilton?
Aye.
Councilmember Klein?
Yes.
Councilmember Tovar?
No.
Mayor Blankley?
I'm saying yes. That's 4-3, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right, 8.2.